All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome to the show and happy hump day to everyone. It's Wednesday, right?
It is.
I can't keep
It
up
is
anymore.
Wednesday, my dudes.
You know, maybe you need to not go on vacation so often.
I can't keep up with days. I can't keep up with days before then.
How come you keep getting vacation?
Because I have to deal with you every day. That's why.
Wow. Wow.
And my kids.
Aren't you?
It's homecoming week in our house, Jeff. Don't you know that? It's
Yeah.
homecoming week. And the world stops because it's homecoming week. There's a homecoming parade at 1 o'clock today. I mean, who has a homecoming parade at 1 o'clock in the
Didn't you say
afternoon?
that the homecoming parade was like going to be in your house later
Well, that's
going to
be Friday night where there's a bunch of 9-year-old girls running around the house for Sophie's 9th birthday officially celebration.
Well, happy birthday,
yeah,
Sophie.
they're glamping in the house. So, whatever that is,
Yeah,
somebody's coming to set up little tents. I don't know what's going on.
What is glamping?
I have no clue anymore.
Glamping?
Glamping.
That's what is that?
It means you're camping indoors.
Luxury camping or
I'm
something?
not really sure.
I don't know what that is.
Welcome to my life.
So
this week.
they're not going to be going fetching their own firewood. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
No. So, we've got homecoming dresses and
How do you look in them, by the way?
Great. Yeah.
Want some pictures of that?
Yeah, sure. No, so yes, it's a crazy week. Don't even know what day it is. Along with softball practices and games as well in my household.
Yeah, you just always got a full calendar.
Yeah, and you wonder why I cut grass all the time.
I don't. When do you have time to cut
I
grass?
really
That's what
don't.
I want to know.
Yeah, jump on. And then, you got 12 o'clock noontime kickoffs for Georgia game. So you get no yard work done on Saturdays.
I'm going to tell you what.
I mean, it's crazy.
I love the 12 o'clock games, to be honest with you, because it smells and feels like football at noon. By 7:30, I'm already tired.
Dude, I love a good night game.
Well, I like a
I
good
love a
night game, but I'm
3:30
already
kickoff as
tired.
well.
I like 3:30, but I like the 12 better.
So you know what's going to happen? Georgia's going to end up with a noontime kickoff again next week because it's Auburn.
There was a great tweet that said, because isn't Vandy and UConn are the 7:30 game?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And they said
Yes.
they need the NCAA and the ESPN needs to think this and do that more because by 7:30 I'm tired. You might as well put the crappy games on at 7:30.
How are you tired by 7:30 on a
long
Saturday,
day of
Jeff?
watching
It's
football.
easy. You work for you guys.
Yeah, on a Saturday.
6
I'm still
hours of
tired at
watching
7:30
football,
on Saturdays,
that's
guys.
kinda
You don't
tiring.
get your nap in?
I don't sleep.
Well, that's a you problem.
Yeah, definitely.
Melatonin.
That does work.
You should
it
try
does
that.
work.
You should try that.
It works.
Yeah. No, I get the tiredness. Yeah, I get the tired that too. I get the tiredness on a Saturday morning. I really do.
Right.
It's
Well, I'm just saying it's a long day.
Especially after I wrap at like 3 to 4 a.m. after highlights,
So what do you rap?
It-
What song?
Wow.
Yeah, I went there.
I
Hey, we're live.
These
We're
are the
live.
times.
Yeah.
These
You're
are the
looking
times when I
live
really
in the
wish
world.
there was a camera on me so you could see
There
just
is right there. You should
my
have plugged
eyes rolling
In
and
the
me
back.
rubbing my forehead
Yeah,
for
he
that
is.
joke.
He was rubbing his forehead
Yes,
and rolling
you
his
were.
eyes.
And that-
I will.
it. And now your eyes are really red.
Oh, they were red before that.
Oh. All right. Let's move on from that one. So, week in sports, so far, we've made it to Wednesday. And
It was a struggle.
the week continues. And week 7 of high school football begins on Friday, which some key matchups. A reminder to you, we do have radio coverage this week, as usual, 3 games. We finally nailed down the third one this morning. But AM 550 Cherokee Bluff and West Hall will play over at the Bluff. North Hall hosting White County on FM 102.9 and on the Lake 94.5 and AM 1240. The Lake, you can hear Gainesville at Lambert. So 3 big region contests on the air in that area. Also, the biggest game of the area, which we'll come up and talk more in depth on our Pick'em show on Friday, is at Rabun County, Pierce County game. It's number 1 2A, number 4 3A, defending state champs in Pierce County. And that one a long road trip down to Blackshear for Raven County. Do you think that's going to affect them any, taking that long road trip?
I don't. They've already hit the road for 2 or 3 big road trips this year, gone out of state a couple of times. I tell you what, I think Raven, man, they're playing at a high level. But what's scary, Bo, is I think they're going to be playing with a little chip on their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
They're ready to prove to the area, to the state, and maybe even more importantly to themselves that they are state title. We're talk about it, contender or favorite, and this is the kind of team that they've had trouble beating over the last few years. They get to the quarterfinals, they get to the semifinals, they run into as talented, if not more talented, team that's a little more athletic, and they just haven't been able to get over the hump necessarily. And this is the kind of game if they can go knock off the defending Class 3A state champs on the road.
Huge.
I think that's just going to send shockwaves around the state. That Raven County, a little mountain school up in the mountains, that is going to be a power player on the state scene for years to come.
You look at the high school football season through week 7, and we always do this. We think of teams, okay, we're week 7, we're October 1st, kickoff date for Friday.
Right.
We're halfway through. Now it's time that teams start jockeying for position. Those teams that want to get in the playoffs, that haven't been to the playoffs for a while, they have key games coming up. Who's impressed you the most, though, so far through 6 weeks, first 6 weeks?
Look, I think you have to look at Jefferson. I mean, we knew they were going to be good, but man, they're otherworldly almost. When you look at that defense, I mean, they shut down Raven and Gunner Stockton, and yet Raven was in that game. But that Jefferson defense it's unbelievable. I mean, look what they did to Flowery Branch last year. Flowery Branch, averaging like 30-something points a game. Yeah. And they scored, but with 16 seconds left to go in the game, and they just shut down Flowery Branch. They have been very, very impressive.
While you're on Jefferson, let me share this because we do Coach's Corner every week.
Oh.
And the Coach's Corner, it'll be out I think later today on the website. And Coach Cathcart, always loved talking to him.
He's a quote machine.
He's a quote machine. And I heard him on the scoreboard show, and he was very upset about all the flags that were thrown. And some of the other mistakes that his team made, and still won 27-7.
Was he complaining about the refs or just the fact that his team was committing penalties?
I'm not really sure, but I
fine line.
So one of the questions I ask in the Coach's Corner is, what are the keys to getting a win this week? Well, they play East Hall. And, of course, they didn't play them last year because of COVID.
Right.
COVID canceled the game and all that kind of stuff. New coaching staff, so you really don't know much about the team because you don't have much game film, I don't guess, to watch. So, Coach is going down, and he's talking about everything. He goes, lastly, we must clean up several facets of our play, most notably penalties. We've gone from less than first 3 games combined, less than one, I guess, to 4 or 5 alone in the next few games. We have been working on it by giving my wife a yellow flag for anything I do wrong, but she threw so many on me by early week, and as a high school coach, I was not allowed to challenge the flag. That both she and the officiating crews from the last 2 games are all getting Tommy John surgery scheduled as a result from overuse injuries. I had to email him back, and I said, Coach, I said,
when'd your wife get out of surgery?
Look, I just fell out of my chair reading the yellow flag quote. That was hilarious.
So Dr. Andrews is real busy.
Real busy.
Just from this area alone, wow.
But Seth he was able to catch up. He caught up with Coach Cathcart after the big win over Flowery Branch on Friday. And I'm pretty sure he's got something to say about penalties in it.
Played really well. This football team's got to learn how to just knock somebody out. We had opportunities to go up 28 several times, and penalties and mistakes just let them hang around. And, that's a credit to Ben and them. Those guys played really hard.
Speaking of credit to them, we talked earlier this week about how Renard is tough to take down. He really showed that out tonight. Talk about, y'all's play against him.
He's a really good player. I mean, he was a great player last year. All-reaching quarterback. We knew he was a good player this year. like you and I talked about, he's one of those that's better in person than he is, on film. And I just was, came away really impressed with him both times we competed against him.
The tandem, kind of Malachi and Sammy today. Talk to me about those two guys.
We got to get a little healthy. Those guys did a great job. Malachi got a little nicked up, and be good to get Jordan Perry back 100%. It's good to see him running around tonight. And so, we just got to get to where we're executing and just keep getting better each week.
All right, thank you very much, Coach.
Yeah, man.
Da-da-da, da-da-da.
What song was the band playing there,
That was
Seth?
the ESPN theme song.
No, I know. I'm just.
Da-da-da,
I
da-da-da.
could. Was Cathcart still talking during?
Yeah,
all? It was
Cathcart
hard
was
to.
it. Seth loves it with that background music. It's good. Right.
No comment.
Yeah, no comment. No comment.
We were letting you. We were going to let you have a Seth's rant right
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
No
Comment.
comment.
No comment.
Okay, I ask you what has impressed you over the first 6 weeks of the season, and
I mean, that wasn't just the only thing. Towns County has impressed me.
That's what I was going to say. Towns County,
Chesadee has impressed me as teams that have kind of looked like they're taking the jump. Gainesville. When you look at that opening game that they had, they scored 10 points, and then they just got blitzed the rest of the way against Johns Creek, and we're like,
Yeah.
Boy, they have gotten better every game.
They have.
And they're going to be a player, not just for the playoff spots in 6, 7, 8, but the way they're playing right now, I'm not sure that there's a team I see playing better than Gainesville in that entire region. You win Region 6, 7A, you have a path. I've been impressed with how Gainesville has improved each week.
Ditto and all that. I agree with that. Gainesville's defense continually improves as well, and the offense keeps clicking away. Naeem Cheeks, 124 yards last week. So, he's being good. The passing game's working. They're more efficient offensively in different ways than they were last year. So, I think that's going to work out for them in that region because, let's face it, right now, West Forsyth is the team to beat in Region 6,
Well, I think
7A.
you would have to say that, but I'm not sure even West Forsyth is playing, even though they're ranked, I'm not sure they're really playing and progressing as well as Gainesville is at this point in the season. And look, traditionally, when the Gainesville teams have made deep runs in the playoffs, even with Deshaun Watson, you look at Blake Sims and some of the other teams they have. Traditionally, though, those teams have been driven by a fast, hard-hitting, and stingy defense. This group is getting there.
Well, check it out on the website coming up tomorrow. Full previews of all the games in the area, in our coverage area, so you can check those out. Also, I think later, it should be up now, I guess, Rabun County, Pierce County preview story, which was a great preview story. So check that one out as well. And also stay with us on Friday as we'll have stories, highlights, video highlights, radio calls, and more coming up on our Friday game night page. Now, let's get to Off Target, On Target, one of our favorite parts of the show. Yes, you know that sound. So, one of the things that was brought to our attention before we went on live here today was coaches and their players.
Coaches and their players.
Coaches and their players and their discipline techniques.
Oh.
Yes, those discipline techniques. And it just so happened that Mario Cristobal, head coach of Oregon, he is seen on Twitter basically
chewing out
his player for making a crucial mistake in a game against who were they playing in that game? LSU? No. Check that. I'm not sure who they were playing. Anyway,
I can't remember who they were playing.
I can't either. But anyway, it doesn't matter in that.
Right.
But the kid made a mistake, and it was an unsportsmanlike conduct. Now, I will say this: he took the ball and he spun the ball and threw it on the ground, and you know how you do it and all that kind of stuff. He didn't score a touchdown, anything. It was on the field of play. I think that's crazy.
Act like you've been there before.
Yeah, act like you've been there. But I'm not against being able to celebrate like that. But anyway, it's a rule. Okay, so we got called for unsportsmanlike conduct. We've got the video. Let you be the judge of the video of this play. So it's right here.
This is not high school anymore.
And you'll see him meet him
Not high school anymore.
right before he comes off the sideline, throws his headset. That was a little dramatic.
Not high school.
After the conclusion of the play, unsportsmanlike conduct.
You cost us 3 points.
giving it to him pretty good.
Yeah, he was giving it to him pretty good. Now, I've been fussed out like that before. Have you ever been fussed out like that before?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know, you don't like me to bring up the tennis, so I won't. But yes.
Yes. You have been.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. In the face.
In the face.
Pulled up by the helmet.
Not playing tennis. No.
Okay.
Not
Well,
playing tennis.
Anyway.
But
so,
anytime I got chewed out by a coach, I deserved it.
Right.
You if you're a coach, you're not just going to I didn't yell at anybody today. I'm
Right.
going to yell at somebody.
Right.
I mean, there's a purpose with that kind of thing right there. I'm not sure what the uproar was on that.
Yeah, I think it got some really good play across social media. Some people were happy with it. Some people weren't. People, they had their own responses. I mean, here's one: a child coaching a child, yelling at a kid, fine, throwing stuff is emblematic of a child's temper tantrum. Coach, you don't need to embarrass him, show your displeasure, yes, but berating him on national TV, no. Well, I mean, national TV's looking for stuff like this to put on TV anyway.
What I call that is coaching in the moment. Sometimes you have to coach at that moment about what's going on. That's when you're going to have your greatest impact to make sure that whatever it is that you want stopped, it gets stopped.
Right.
I guarantee you, most of the guys down there, they know they're on TV, but they kind of forget they're on TV because they're just doing what they do. How many businesses are out there right now where there's an employer chewing out their employee in front of other people, but it's not on TV? Does anybody care?
Well,
and so I didn't see anything. Personally, having played sports and been chewed out by coaches, I didn't see anything there. I just said, you know what? That's a great teachable moment, but it's the kind of moment you almost have to do right there to make sure you get the impact you want.
So give Chris, I think it was Chris Hudson, I believe that's the player that he was chewing out. Yeah,
right.
Chris Hudson. Give him credit, though, because he took the chewing and looked Coach straight in the eye the entire time he was being chewed out.
And said,
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And so
message received.
Anybody that wants to criticize what the coach did, they really don't have an argument. If the guy being criticized takes it, says yes, sir, and then moves on, and we talked off air before we came on live, he's probably had another talking to on Monday morning after that.
A little more cordial.
And just said, look, this can't happen, and this is why. Look, they were winning the game. It was probably inconsequential, but there could be a time when it's a tie game. They do that, and they lose field position. They lose it down. It cost them a game, possibly a national championship. Oregon's fighting for a playoff spot. So there's more at stake. He's got teammates. You're letting people down. I see no problem with the coach doing that.
How many times have you seen Nick Saban throw a headset?
A zillion. Nobody says anything.
Yeah, nobody
In
says
fact,
a
they
word.
go, hey, that's just great coaching technique. So it's okay for Nick Saban. I've seen Kirby do it.
Yeah, I've seen Kirby do it.
Nobody complains, but this guy gets on, and everybody wants to jump his case. The player took it the way he was supposed to take it. No one else even really has a comment to make.
Right.
Because they're not involved.
Well, one of these guys said, and I can't find it again here on the tweeter.
It's quite a thread.
But it is a massive thread of people. Most of it looks like, here's one. As a player, if you can't take that, you can't play football. Football is an emotional sport.
That's correct.
It's not accounting. It's not even cognitive sometimes. It's not a lot of things, but what it is emotional. I can guarantee you after the game, the coach put an arm around him, and he did. I guarantee you he did.
He probably did.
I guarantee you gave him a hug,
and
after,
said, look,
after
we
that.
need you.
Yeah.
So this is why you can't do that.
And some people are saying here, this is what's wrong with sports, people taking up for, the kid and bashing the coach and all this kind of stuff. Well, look, I've heard coaches say the kids just aren't what they used to be as far as the mentality
Look,
goes.
I don't know that the kids aren't what they used to be. I just think society, and I'm just going to say it, this society is soft.
Yes.
Nobody wants to be yelled at anymore.
Right.
Oh, you're hurting my feelings if you criticize one single. Look, if you want to achieve excellence, you have to. You're going to make mistakes, and you have to learn from those mistakes. You got to hope that there's somebody around that one tells you made a mistake, and two can help you fix it.
Yep.
Otherwise, you won't achieve much in life. I don't have a problem with this. I think it's for people criticizing, I don't know which way we're going with the on target, off target.
I think Mario Cristobal was on target.
I think he was on target, absolutely. I think all the people criticizing him are off target.
All right, does Bama lose to Ole Miss this week? This could be a really good game. Where is the game, by the way? Is it in Tuscaloosa?
I am not sure. I think it's in Oxford.
You should know this, Jeff.
I know I should know this, but I have been up to my eyeballs in high school football previews.
I like where your priorities are.
Yeah, well.
It's in Tuscaloosa.
Well,
Tuscaloosa.
Look,
it's a 3:30 kickoff in Tuscaloosa.
I think it has potential to be a really good game. I know people are hyping Corral. Is it Corral? How do you pronounce his name? Coral, the quarterback from Ole Miss, Matt Corral, Corral. Coral. They're, oh my God! Stop your zombie's gonna pop through any moment now. It's but I know they're hyping him early already for Heisman.
Yeah.
Their defense has improved.
Yeah.
But I don't know. In Tuscaloosa,
12 versus 1.
I don't see Alabama having another kind of lackluster performance. I do not think Ole Miss can beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa.
I don't think so either. Another scintillating matchup, though, on the day. I just had to throw this one out there. Troy and South Carolina up in Columbia. We don't need to talk anymore about it. I just wanted to throw. Also another one that's just going to be a fantastic game at 7:30 on the U. UConn is at Vanderbilt. That is going to be.
That's your 7:30 game, folks.
Awesome, folks. Just a lot of offense there. Could be a lot of offense there. Two teams that are pretty bad.
Wow.
Well,
there was an interesting comment about that.
Yeah.
That because Saturday, if you start at noon or 11 for some games and start watching all the way through your by 7:30, you've been through two meals. You're kind of tired. For some of
I'm just getting started at 7:30. What are you talking about, Jeff?
Some of those people that have been drinking. Maybe they should put the better games like Georgia, Arkansas at noon.
Second win, 7:30.
And put the crappy games like UConn and Vandy at 7:30 because nobody's going to be watching anyway.
Okay, yeah.
So why would you put UConn Vandy at noon?
Look,
I don't want to start a day off like that.
I will flip it over.
Wow.
Just to see how bad it is.
It's going to be bad.
Yeah. All right.
Well, it's UMass that's really, really bad, but UConn is not much better.
Well,
which one of those
if
is
you
like
count 0-5.
But which one has been traditionally bad here the last 4 or 5?
Both of them.
Both. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So Georgia, Arkansas, top 10 matchup. Saturday at noon in Athens. Game days in the house, of which, by the way, I hear they're setting up underneath the scoreboard on the bridge, so that 11 o'clock segment's going to be really loud.
I think so.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
Should be a dandy.
Makes me want to just
Georgia
go over there
lose?
and just hang out in Athens.
Does Arkansas beat Georgia?
Boy, I'm going to tell you what.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but there's something tells me this might be the toughest game they played all year, even more so than Clemson.
I'm going to tell you something, Jeff. I'm going to tell you something.
Tell me.
That is going to shock you and Seth both.
Wow.
Georgia rolls in this one.
Wow.
Shocking.
Roll. You think they roll?
I think they do.
What's the point spread?
18.5.
They cover?
Yes.
See, I think they cover, but I think
they roll.
I think the game's going to be closer initially.
Look, I love Sam Pittman.
Georgia's just got too much of everything.
But it's hard to root against Sam Pittman. But it's Georgia, baby. They roll.
I think this Georgia team is special. It has potential. No, it's off target that Arkansas will beat them.
Yes.
Way off target.
Way off target. Okay, so can the Falcons win 2 in a row?
Well, we did say a couple of weeks ago they were the worst team in the NFL.
Not any longer.
They backed that up with another bad loss. And then they win a game. I don't know.
Look.
Can they go? But they're playing, who are they playing? The Redskins?
They can't help it. They slipped up and won a game.
They're playing the Redskins?
Yes, they're playing the Redskins.
Or whatever the hell they call them. Whatever they call them now.
Washington football team.
How stupid.
Look, let me tell you. The
Falcons realize that if they switch the WFT and switch 2 letters, you know what they have.
Yes, I know. WTF.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Falcons have
Or did
a
that describe the Falcons?
Yeah, both. The Falcons have a little legitimate shot, if you're looking on paper, or the cell phone screen, to win the next 3. I mean, they play Washington, who's not very good, Jets, who are terrible, and then the Dolphins. After that, it's going to be tough for them because then they have the Panthers, they have the Saints, they have the Cowboys, they have, the Patriots. They're not all that great. Maybe the Jaguars, they could get past, but they need to be getting the wins while they can. And the next 3 weeks, they can. By the way, if you're looking to go to the game on Sunday, I have tickets for sale.
You shameless plugger. Shameless.
It
Bo.
also comes with a red deck parking pass. You just walk right out of it, the parking lot, and right
I
out
don't
of the
think I've ever
stadium.
seen anything
See
more
if that Twitter,
shameless.
see if that
Let
Twitter
me
feed
know.
is lighting up.
Yeah.
Let me know.
No.
Seth.
I don't know if it is.
Wait, it's not, we've lost some.
Yes, 4
Way
tickets
to go,
for sale.
Bo. Well, way
Take
to
your
go.
family. Take your family. Concessions are cheap.
So can they go 2-2? I'm gonna say that's off target. They can't do it.
I'm going to say that's on target. I think they win this week, even
You
though I'm
do?
not going.
Are they going to win because you're not going?
Probably.
Because every time you go, they lose.
Yeah, well, I mean, wait. There's a really good chance of that happening. Yeah. Okay, so Braves a surprise division winner.
Yeah, I think they are. I think that's on target that they're a surprise division winner. Because when you when you lose the best player in baseball, like Ronald Acuna, you've lost him for most of the season. You lose your best pitcher, arguably, in Soroka for the whole season. You had Max Fried out for a while, Ian Anderson out for a while, a patchwork bullpen. They had to go and, I think they searched Home Depot and other places like that for some outfielders, and they found some. And they're winning division.
Look.
I mean, look, 2 wins over the Phillies, and they clinch. I am shocked. When Acuna went down. And then Soroka, I said, yeah, they're done.
Look.
I am stunned.
Here's my favorite part of a Braves game.
Which is?
When Will Smith goes in. Because you can be sitting in the basement of your house and hear the groans around the state.
Oh, yeah.
When Will Smith comes in.
Stacey,
and the guy's got like 36
I know.
saves.
We haven't watched a baseball game
It just
all
gives
year.
more drama to the baseball game.
So last night we watched, because it was actually on the station we could watch it, because it's been on channels that we don't have.
Yeah.
So we watched the game last night, and so it's 2-0. We're going to the ninth, and I went, Stace. They're bringing in Will Smith. She goes, well, what's wrong with him? And I pulled up the Twitter. I mean, like as soon as he came in, Twitter went boom. And you could just read it like, oh, God, here comes the roller coaster. I mean, people threw this crazy roller coaster thing drop. My! And said, this is Will Smith, watching Will Smith. And it, sure enough.
It's really funny.
It sure was. I mean, they gave up. Now, admittedly, the outfielder dropped an easy fly ball.
I heard that one from.
So Will Smith would have gotten out of it pretty easy, but of course, then he walked a guy.
Yeah. Because Elizabeth, she's a diehard Braves fan. So
I am too. But
so I heard her. I was in the other room,
and you heard her. She yelled out
when the ball was dropped. I heard her just yell at the TV, and then when Will Smith walked somebody, it was like, "Not again! Here we go!"
Hey, look, it's all about the entertainment value, isn't it?
Yes. Although if you come watch me during a Georgia football game, I'm just as bad, if not worse.
You're no better. You're no better. So. Are you as doom and gloom as Morgan is?
No, I'm not as doom and gloom.
One bad play, and Morgan will tweet you for an hour.
I'm kind of close.
Morgan will tweet me for an hour over one bad play.
We really haven't had anything to be doom and gloom about Georgia this year for Georgia fans yet.
Well, he still managed to tweet me a few things.
Oh, yeah.
So I love you, Morgan. I do. It's entertaining on Saturday. When Saturday wakes up, I just open my Morgan email.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Yeah. Okay, so our final on-target, off-target. The NCAA is going to start using March Madness for the women's basketball tournament. I'm saying this is on target, and why has it not been done by now? What is the big daggum deal?
I don't know. I was going to say
the
same
NCAA
thing, that it's on target and way past time to do this. In fact, we haven't heard in this story, but I throw a proposition out, and we talked about this. Why not do the women's and the men's at the same place?
Mm-hmm.
And on Friday, you do the women's semifinals. On the Saturday, you do the men's semifinals. Sunday, the women's finals. Monday, the men's finals. The women get their 2 days, the men get their 2 days. All of the fans are congregated. You've got all the media there, so you can have the big ESPN thing for the women and the men. What a weekend! What 4 days of fun would that be? You even had another solution.
I think there's been that discussion down the road, I guess. I don't know how long these contracts are out for,
right?
Sites for the Final Four. I know they go out 3 or 4 years, and I don't know if they can somewhat adjust that, but they should bring that in. They should have the men's and women's, and they, for some reason, and I could not find this story, I know there's discussion about bringing the men's and women's tournament to the same city, same location
they should just,
at some point.
They should just go, we're going to start that next year.
Well, they should. They should do that. It's my thing was, and I know you can't do it for the finals because there's women's basketball has grown, and if you watch the finals, not just the Final Four, but the championship game, I mean, it's pretty packed out for the women's. Now, it used to not be years ago, but it's grown so much. So I don't think you could have the men's and women's on the same day for the finals, at least.
No, that's why I'm saying.
But my idea was to do it
high school.
For years, all these players from middle school to JV to which probably most of those players didn't play JV, but varsity. It was boys and girls.
Look, when you go to Macon,
boys and girls. So
if you go to Macon, they do the AA girls, AA boys, and AAA girls, AAA boys, and you can bring all the people together. It's a lot of fun. It's a great tournament atmosphere.
And they can make more money.
Yeah, I think the last time the Georgia women were in it, and I think they lost to Duke, who went pretty far.
Yeah.
Me and Stacey went over to Athens and watched the Lady Dogs. I mean, there was more people there in that game than there was in some of the men's games that year. I can assure you of that. Look, it was a lot of fun. The Lady Dogs got crushed, but it was still fun.
I'm going to say this. I have 2 daughters, and if they were to make it to that large of a scale, to that level basketball,
right,
or that level of athletics at any point, I would expect the same for them as the men get from the standpoint of, let's go back to the weight room issue, the men versus the women.
That was a disgrace.
I mean,
it was a disgrace.
You make the money, you can afford that. Now, I do understand the fact here of the men's sports do bring in more money than the women's sports.
There's no doubt.
That there is a fact on that, and
no
that just happens. However, stuff like putting the March Madness logo on the court for the women, why has that not been done for the last umpteen years?
I have to tell you
years?
that when I saw this story, I was like, they have it, and so then they show a logo, and it says women's basketball.
Yeah. Why not just put the logo
I
on
thought
the court?
it was always March Madness. They've always touted it that way. The women's March Madness, the women's tournament. I didn't. I guess I just didn't notice it.
No.
We were both like, how come they haven't been doing this? I think it's on target that they absolutely should do that, and I think they should look into our proposal about a 4-day weekend.
Look into it as we wrap the show up here today. Don't forget high school football coverage coming up on Friday night. Lots of it coming straight at you. Region play is getting heated up, and there's one massive showdown, non-region showdown down in Blackshear as Rabun travels down to Pierce County. So make sure you stick with us. For the rest of the week, a lot of features coming up. Our previews drop tomorrow of all the area games. Check us out on Twitter at WDUN Sports and at Friday Game Night. Jeff is at HartJJ22. I am at The Bo Wilson. And the keyword search on Instagram, access WDUN Sports. For Seth, Jeff, I'm Bo. Enjoy the rest of your week, everyone.